What you're seeing right now is a Tetris AI, and I made it. Let me explain how. Recently, there's been a massive trend of playing Tetris at my school, and people are getting really big high scores left and right. And I would get a big high score so that I wouldn't be at the bottom of the food chain. But the only problem is, I suck at Tetris. So my solution as a game dev is make an AI for Tetris. So that's exactly what I decided to do. The first step of this would probably be making Tetris, because I can't make an AI for Tetris without Tetris. And so how I do this is first I'll open a Unity project, and then I'll go to the Unity Asset Store, search up Tetris, go to free assets, and then hippity hoppity, your code is now our property. You didn't actually think I'd actually make the game Tetris all by myself for this project. I then imported the project into Unity, and I click play, and oh no, I actually have to do work. Oh wait, never mind, I'm just stupid. This project is meant to be played on mobile, so the UI was cut off. It works now. I then started looking into the game's code to see how the game worked and how I could implement the AI into it. After I got a feel for how the game worked, I used ChatGPT, and together we figured out that I can make the AI simulate key presses by using the keybd functions. This way, I didn't have to manually hack into the game itself, and if I want to, I could just turn off the AI and play the game normally. I then started working on the AI itself. The AI was going to be really simple. It's just a point system where it tries every single move, and then it assigns points to that move. It then looks at what move has the most points, and it places the piece there. So you might be asking, what do I add or subtract points for? Well, I'm going to subtract points if there's a hole, and that depends on how deep the hole is. I'm going to subtract points for how high the piece is, and I'm going to subtract points if the piece is on the very right side of the board. I did this so that all the pieces start to stack up, and then you can get rid of many rows at once using the vertical piece. This is because in original Tetris, that would give you the most points possible in the game, so I wanted to include that. You might be asking, why aren't you adding points for clearing lines? And I decided I really didn't need to do this, because first of all, that's a lot of extra work, and creating an AI should not be extra work. And I thought that with the current reward system, that should just occur naturally. So, I started on the AI, like I said. I decided to first work on subtracting points for holes. But how will I get if there's a hole or not? I don't want to spawn a replica game object and move it down to check, because that's a lot of work, and there shouldn't be work involved with making an AI, right? Anyways, I thought of a solution. We measure from each block to the object below us, and if the numbers don't match in each block, then we have a hole. But then I thought of the Z and L pieces. Since they're all different elevations, they all should have different distances to the block below, right? Wrong. That's where my brain finally switched on, and I realized that the distances would still have to be the same, since each block needs to rest on another block. And we don't need to measure the blocks that are on another block of the same piece, since we know that those won't be making holes. After spending an embarrassing long time on that, and finally getting it to work, I started working on the rest of the AI. The rest of the AI was significantly simpler, because really it was just straight up simple math, like the position and seeing if it's equal to something. So it wasn't that difficult. Also, I started adding things like a panic zone, which is, I believe, the last 5 tiles at the top. And at that point, those 5 tiles, they take away a ton of points. That means the AI will try and do anything to get the pieces to not land in the panic zone. This is also when I added the Tetras feature, where the AI tries to put all pieces to the left except for the stick. I also added this feature that makes the AI auto restart the game when it fails, so that I can just sit back and watch the high score. After I finished those things, I was pretty much done with the AI. You'd now be probably thinking, wow, you're done with the AI? Can you show us how it works? But there were still lots of bugs. Like this bug, where for some reason, when the game finishes, even if the score is not bigger than the high score, there's a 50-50 chance that the high score will become the score. I don't even think this one's my fault. I think it's just how the template is coded. And the AI was also not perfect. Like, for example, this move. Yeah, that's not the move that I would. After I got it to mostly a presentable level, I can now show this AI off. I will be showing some of the highest scores that it got through all my recording, and just overall performance of the AI. Sometimes the AI scored really high, while other times it sometimes didn't even get a single line. Now that I'm finally done with it, let's see what my friends think about it. Do you want to see my Tetris AI?
No.
Oh wow, they love it. Yeah. After getting so much overwhelmingly positive feedback from my friends, I think I'm finally done. Thank you so much for watching through this entire video. Since you watched the whole video, you probably enjoyed it. So please consider liking. This is a new style of editing that I'm experimenting with. So tell me if you like it or not. Anyways, thank you again, and goodbye.